Hello, Dominic here. All right, today I just heard on the news that Canada, has just removed a law that used to be legal at one point, and then they made it illegal, and now it's legal again, to challenge somebody to a duel. A duel. All right. Now, a lot of people think, okay, pistols at dawn, or whatever, swords on guard. But a duel is just a fight. So it doesn't matter what's involved in that particular fight, what particular weaponry, or the lack of thereof. It's still a duel. Now, nobody's ever said anything in the law there. The laws haven't changed as far as weapons. You're not allowed to carry any instrument for the use as a weapon. So it doesn't matter what it is. It could be one of these tactical pens. And if for some reason you get stopped by the police or whatever, and they, well, what do you have this for? They'll look at it and they'll probably talk to you in a manner like they're suggesting that it's a weapon. They can't call it a weapon because it's a pen. They'll go around like if they think you're like a shady fella or shady person for that matter, and you might be up to, or they might suspect that you're up to no good. They might try to choose language and mannerisms that will try to draw out an answer that they're looking for. So, oh, what do you got something like this for, And as soon as you say something like, you know what, I'm scared at night, and, I don't want to, I'm walking around in the dark, and if somebody jumps me, I want something to protect myself. Well, now, that's a weapon. Now you are intending this to be a weapon. Yeah, you could be a benevolent person, wouldn't hurt a fly unless you had to, or, in this case, a bad guy unless you had to. But the law is the law. It's too clear, too clean cut. It doesn't say you can use a weapon to protect your life, like some places in the United States. The law just says clearly, no weapons. So that means anything, a stick, a pen, a knife, anything. If you intend it to be a weapon, whether it's self-defense or if you're a bad guy, to create some sort of offense, it's illegal. All right, back to the dueling thing. They just removed it, and they removed a few other laws, but the part that I want to talk about is dueling. So they removed that. Now, does that I think this is just my speculation. I don't have any legal inside information or anything like that, but I speculate that this is the beginning of, maybe some other repeals, other clean. They're calling it streamlining the criminal act. As per the news article, said something about streamlining the criminal act. Now, cleaning up, they said. Cleaning up the criminal act. Now, so having said that, oops, excuse me, I bumped into something here. So they're cleaning up the criminal act. So that's one of the things that they knocked off their list. It's like, what brought them about to come to that conclusion that dueling should be legal? Because part of their argument, their general argument was, we want the criminal code to reflect a more modern society, the way or modern times. So, is this foreshadowing? This is just my speculation. Is this foreshadowing to something that they know? You know, maybe CSIS knows. Maybe let's not beat around the bush and pull punches here. There's a lot of terrorist acts happening in the world in places where they never happened before, and just last week there was a lady that was charged with wearing an ISIS flag or something on her head, like an ISIS flag bandana, and threatening people with a knife. She didn't actually attack anybody with a knife, yet. I don't know if she probably intended to. I don't know, but she didn't hurt anybody except for the store manager. Store manager helped the police officer subdue her, and he might have got cut or something in the scuffle. But so I mean, it happens in Australia now. It's it's happening in France. It happens every day in Israel. It just happened in Iran. We had an incident. I guess we call it an incident of terrorism or attempted terrorism in Canada just this week about that lady. And is this foreshadowing? This is just my question. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. But I mean, I watch the news and I look at the underground news, a lot of the underground news too. And of course, there's a lot of conspiracy theories and there's a lot of garbage, misinformation, disinformation. You got to sift through all that garbage and try to extrapolate some semblance of truth. And the way you do that is you keep cross-referencing. You check this source, you check that source, you check this source, you check that source, and you come to some sort of a medium, like a middle ground. An average is like, if you want to talk mathematics, you come to some sort of average opinion or news report, and you can sort of understand where the truth lies. So anyway, this is my question. Is it foreshadowing that maybe there's something on the rise that they know, but they're not letting in on yet? Because a lot of states in the United States are legalizing carrying knives where you weren't previously, legalizing automatic knives where they were previously outlawed. The same with butterfly knives. All the Switchblade Act. Here in Canada they call it the Switchblade Act, and that covers switchblades of any kind, butterfly knives, balisongs. Those are the same knives with different names. Gravity knives where you whip it open. Things like that. There's ninja stars and nunchakus and all these things, all these restricted weapons. Here in Canada, they're all still illegal and restricted, but there's a lot of places in the States that are legalizing them, and I think it's maybe just to let the people protect themselves a little more, and they're starting to realize that it doesn't keep the bad guys from doing any bad things, because they don't care about laws. They're still going to obtain that knife, gun, bomb, whatever it is they want illegally. That's why they're bad guys. That's why they're criminals, because they don't care about the law, right? So you take away the switchblades, you're just taking them away from the good people. You take away handguns, you're just taking them away from the good people, because the bad people will still keep them. The bad guy will, you know what? It's illegal now, says the bad guy. We better turn them in. I think they're just realizing slowly. And there's a lot of red tape, even though they realized it a long time ago. There's a lot of red tape to repeal and change laws and make sure that laws don't clash with other laws and whatever. So, I don't know. These knives are just out. I'm not reviewing any knives. Just eye candy, I guess. Zero Tolerance 0920, gorgeous knife. Zero Tolerance 0804, Spyderco Advocate. Awesome knife. There's all kinds of pivot issues. People report pivot issues with this thing, and this thing is smooth as butter. Anyways, I don't want to digress too much because I'm talking about the dueling. Now, I can carry this, and it's a pen, and it better work. If a police officer stops you, that pen better be working, because now he's got you've got no reason to carry this because it's a non-working pen. So it's really just if you're a bad person and he really can stick it to you, she, police officer might stick it to you and say, I think really you're carrying this for a weapon, so I'm going to charge you. You know, if it's not working. Same thing when it goes with those tactical flashlights. Better make sure it's working. It better be functional when that police officer catches it on you if you're carrying it around. So make sure it's functional. And knives, never say these are self-defense. These are tools. These are always tools. Cutting rope, cutting cardboard, cutting fruit, food, whatever, you know. You like collecting knives, and you like using them as tools. That's all you gotta say. Don't ever say self-defense, ever, 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 or else you're just gonna get yourself in trouble. Now, you can challenge somebody to a duel. A duel. Because really, duel mean double. Duel is what the subject is here. You can challenge somebody to a duel. Now, I'm sure that and because the weapons laws and the other laws haven't changed, you can't accept a duel. You can accept a duel and you can challenge without being charged. Now, there's still going to be charges laid if you kill a guy. There's still charges going to be laid if you all of a sudden pull out a gun, which you shouldn't have had if you're not allowed to have one in the first place. I mean, you know, there's registered guns, right? But you're still in Canada, you're not allowed to even point a gun at somebody because it's an offense. And I think it's like a maximum 10-year penalty for just pointing a gun at somebody. It doesn't even have to be loaded, just point it. It's illegal. Now, so even if you had a registered rifle and you had no right to point it at somebody, you'll be charged with that. So I just wanted to just clear up some of that, just in case some of you knuckleheads get out there and think that you can just go around, you know, if somebody pisses you off, you know, you want to go, man? You want to go? Like, I mean, that never stopped any hothead dummy from saying that anyway, even if it was illegal. But because this law has changed, I don't want anybody to go around thinking that they can just go around and say, oh, you want to go, buddy? You want to go? And then start, I mean, like, if it's just, you know, exchanging a few blows and everybody goes home with a bloody nose, that's fine. I even spoke to a police officer a few months ago, and they said that a lot of times it's up to the police officer's discretion, depending on the information they gather and evidence they find, blah, 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 that if two consenting adults had a physical confrontation and it didn't end up, you know, grievous bodily harm, you know, crippled or, you know, completely destroyed or something, or killed, that the officers a lot of times says, okay, you go home and I don't want to see you guys here again. You know, that still happens today. It doesn't happen as much as it used to back in the day. You know, they'd even catch a drunk driver and say, don't let me see you around here, go home, and don't let me see you out here again tonight. You know, no, that doesn't happen anymore. But still, officers out there still practice that sort of discretionary rule. If they see no harm in letting everybody go, they will. Because, I mean, you know, they're still people, and their job is to police, not just to charge people. So, really, that's basically all I really wanted to say about this. There's going to be a lot of news out there. It just came out this afternoon, so it's fresh, and not everybody knows about it. And so I just wanted to get out there and get my voice out there and just let you guys know that, you know, it's still going to be illegal to. There's still going to be legal ramifications towards that duel that you've either challenged someone to or accepted. Because even if you accepted a duel and then you just, you know, you smash the guy's jaw so bad that he can't ever eat again, that's still going. You're still going to get charged for that. So you're just not going to get charged for accepting the duel. That's the only thing that you're not going to get charged for. You're going to get charged for everything else. So anyways, guys, I just want to really, it's about keeping the peace out there, not becoming hotheads and not becoming ridiculous, because there are a lot of ridiculous people out there. And I'm not saying my viewers are ridiculous, but you just never know who's watching a YouTube video, or even you don't know who's reading the news and extrapolating this information the wrong way. My dad is one of those people. I'm not going to tell him about this at all, because he's a hothead, and I could see him abusing. He's 82, 83 now, but he's still feisty, and he still thinks he's a tough guy, like he was when he was a young guy. And he doesn't. And he's an old school Italian, and he doesn't understand the laws completely. And I can see him misinterpreting this law, or the lack of law, whatever it is. They just made it not illegal. They didn't say you're allowed to. They didn't say you're allowed to do it. It's just no longer illegal. You know, so maybe it's just to clear up some court things, but I think it's just going to mess court cases up. Courts are just going to fill up to the top, and there's going to be people dying, and you know, people getting the information. But I thought you could do that. No, you can accept a duel. You can challenge somebody to a duel. You're not going to get charged for that, period. But anything else after that, breaking someone's face, putting them 6 feet underground, you're going to get charged for that kind of stuff. So anyways, this means peace. Make sure you have a peaceful day, guys.